Today I'll be talking about advertisement and its most rawest principles behind it and implications on today's society. I'm going to ask that if you found the information in this video useful, you click the like button and even favourite perhaps, so that other people can enjoy this video. If you didn't like this video or you did not find the information useful, I want you to click the dislike button. Thank you. I shall remind you that midway through by use of an annotation and towards the end of it by telling you directly. Now, advertisement itself. I'm not looking at the subtleties and how you can enhance one's advertisement premise. No, I'm going to be looking at the actual nature of advertisement itself, namely the parts involved and how it implicates to today, as I just said at the start. In its most rawest form, let us say that I had a video coming out on the 1st of April, and I wanted to advertise it so more people will go and watch it. So effectively, I'd go to an advertisement campaign and say, I've got a video coming out, I'd like to advertise it, please. And at which point the advertiser will probably say, certainly, sir. We will make an advert, don't worry about the content, we'll make the advert totally legitimate for £100 and we'll put it on 5 billboards across your city centre. And for this, obviously, anyone passing these high traffic areas will see your advert and will go and watch it. I think that would be an excellent idea. That's what will go and happen. I pay my £100, advertisers are going to make their 5 billboards and put it in high traffic areas where people will go past it. Now, the next part of this equation obviously relies upon somebody passing, looking at the advert and saying, I like the idea of that advert. I'll go and investigate that product. Or in this case, my video coming out on the 1st of April, whatever it is. I mean, you better set a time frame of how long this billboard's going to be seen for. You would then forward that a little bit further down the line. You could say that advertisement is wasted, or half of it is wasted by traditional standards. Unfortunately, you don't know which half it is wasted for, otherwise you cut back on certain areas. But in general premise, you tend to look at applying maybe about 3% of your profits to advertisement. That's the general idea of traditional advertisement. Let's move forward. I'm going to go, obviously there's a little bit of product placement in this clip already. I'm sure YouTube has very kindly posted up a bit of some kind of advert. I'd love to know what kind of product it is. Last video I did, it was Britney Spears' new album. Already you've probably seen at least 2 other adverts on this video. Comment below what you've seen so far. But this came in one of my optical presses. And it's a simple little bit of cardboard with a little disc in it with some numbers on it. And suffice to say, I could tell you that in 1 hour, you would on average blink 720 times. And if I was to rotate the disc, I'd discover that after 5 hours at a computer terminal, you blink the same amount of time. The idea behind it is that you blink less when you're at a computer. Now, this was an advert for one of Johnson & Johnson's new contact lenses for me to sell to my patients. And advise them they're more comfortable when using the contact lenses. I don't generally endorse Johnson & Johnson. However, that was a bit of advertisement. Johnson & Johnson went to marketing. They said, right, how can we push our new product? And that's what they did. That's what I got out of it. If we then take that one stage further, perhaps going into the internet environment, Johnson & Johnson could go to an internet marketing group, Clickbait, Google, the likes, don't really care who. But for the sake of I'm using YouTube here, so I'm going to discuss about Google. They'll go to Google and say, we've got a new content that's coming out, and we would like you to push our product. And they say, certainly, that'll be X amount of pounds, and we'll push it like the shits. I don't know how much Google actually charges for adverts, because they've never actually gone that far. However, what Google would then go on and do, they would take this campaign and they'd do it in 1 of 2 formats. One would be a simple picture saying, new contact lenses, ask your optician. And that's all it would be. That's all it needs to be. And exactly as soon as somebody has seen that picture, that image, that macro even, that bit of flash, the advertiser has been paid for it because it's working on a pay-per impression. Okay. The other angle would be a pay-per-click situation, where essentially right at the top of Google, you type in contact lenses, and there'd be like a little list of promoted links. And from there, you'd see a list of contact lenses, and you go click on the link. And effectively, in this case, they get paid when somebody clicks on the link. So there's 2 types of advertising there. But effectively, whenever you've seen the advert, somebody's been paid for it. That's the core behind it. Now, let's move on to YouTube. Obviously, YouTube is owned by Google. And so whenever you see an advert on someone's channel, assuming you don't have an ad block running, you think, oh, grown, someone's trying to push a product, greedy bastards, blah, 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 blah. But advertisements are splashed across a lot of channels at the moment. suffice to say, obviously, you see an advert, and as I said, Google's been paid to promote that advert. So essentially, you see that, Google then bills the content company, and there's a link in the equation that somebody got paid. Now, move this on to partner accounts. Effectively, obviously, it's a slice of a profit is going to a partner of YouTube. So dare I say, an awesome video is out on the 1st of April, and they go look at the video, and on the video is that advert. Now essentially, because people went to that video, there's an advert that's seen, the person that made that video on the 1st of April gets a slice of the advertising revenue that is generated from that. So essentially, it's going from the YouTube, so there's a slice going from the YouTube partner to YouTube to Google from the content lens company. Now, I'm going to move at one stage further. There are certain networks within the interwebs that actually generate also subcontracts. So essentially, dare I say, mr.dougan, which I have a contract with. Content lens company pays Google, who pays YouTube, who pays mr.dougan, who then pays me a slice of the action. So essentially, there's like 5 loops in the chain there. So effectively, all we need to do is get somebody to look at this video, and it goes through links, and someone's get paid. Now, what I'm actually driving towards here is, obviously, I have noticed in the last several months, I've noticed in the last several months, I appreciate it's been going on for a lot longer, is that people have been making the video look a lot more appetizing to watch. And this is being done by a lot of people, okay? I won't name names. You guys watching this know who they are. They themselves know who they are. Blah, blah, blah. We don't care. But the principle is, I want to educate you guys on this. Yeah. I think somebody said, knowing is half the battle. Cliched response, I know, but the premise does still stand up. If we can cut back on people making these false claims to make this video more appetizing to watch, it'll cut back on their revenue. It'll cut back on the YouTube partner. It'll cut back on the supplier to Google. It'll cut back onto YouTube itself, and obviously then the content company isn't wasting money. Yes, I am against people mislabeling, misentitling, using false advertisement, false thumbnails, false titling, you name it. If they're doing it to generate more views, to get more money, I'm against it. I'm Mr.Dougan. I've rambled a little bit too much now. This was meant to be an educational video about advertisement. Hopefully you have been entertained, you have been enlightened by this video, and if you have, I'm going to ask you to click the like button and click the favourite button. If you've not been enlightened or entertained by this video, I'm going to ask you to click the dislike button, because I do appreciate creative feedback. So tell me. I'm Mr.Dougan. I'll bid you good night. Ciao.
Oh my God! He's got a gun!